When I think of blockchain, I see a lot of money flowing to Web3 companies. I see Web3 developers get paid huge amount of money, millions of dollars. Why this is happening?
They think it's a industry that's going to keep on growing.
Will you tell people come to Web3 space as a developer, as a smart contract auditor?
Even if you don't have an interest, come to Web3, try it out.
Tasuku Nakamura is a smart contract engineer from Japan.
He's one of the OG content creators in the Web3 space.
He's widely known as smartcontractprogrammer on YouTube and X.
Initially, you are a mathematics grad and then you become a smart contract engineer. I'm very curious to know about your story.
After graduating, we worked as a construction worker.
Imagine you have two brothers. One came to you said, I want to become a Web3 developer. And another one came to you and said, I want to become a Web3 security researcher. What roadmaps do you give for two of them? This blows my mind every single time that 86% of the people who watch my content regularly haven't yet subscribed for the channel yet. So could I ask you for a favor before we start? If you like my content, if you like what I'm doing here, just hit the subscribe button. I'll put out the best content on US skills and US technologies like AI, blockchain, IoT and cybersecurity. This is my promise to you and thank you so much. Tasuku Nakamura, aka Smart Contract Programmer. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tasuku, I'm incredibly intrigued by your content, your YouTube channel, your by example products on internet. So, if you can summarize, who are you, what you do, and what mission you are on, that would be great.
Okay, who am I? I'm just a programmer that's been programming for 10 years. I enjoy programming. And then, what was it, like maybe more than 5 years ago, I saw Bitcoin, then got interested in blockchain programming. And then I just try to share what I learned on on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tasuku, when I think of blockchain or people in general, blockchain or Web3, people think that it's a future technology. But people forgot that year has passed over and future came into present. I went to a Google event. It's a normal event. There was a guy who gave a talk on their Bard AI a long 2 years back, I think so. And after giving talk, he came next to me. And at that point of time, I was learning this blockchain concept on learnweb3.io. Then I asked him, out of curiosity, what do you think of blockchain technology? Then he said that it's a failed technology that don't have any real world problems. Of course, I don't agree with the answer that he gave. So if you are in my shoes, what would you answer him? And it would be great if you give real world example that blockchain is solving right now, that you have worked on and you have seen the problems solving by blockchain.
Yeah, I would say that blockchain doesn't solve problem for maybe people living in developed countries where their credit card works really well and they don't have problem with payments. But I think for other places where payment is a little bit of a hassle, blockchain really shines. And for my example, if I were to do international transfers, then like using stablecoin is just one click away. But if you were to do it through a regular bank, then I would have to submit an application saying, I want to submit money to so and so for these reasons. Will you let me send my money to someone else? So that's one thing that it solves. And then another thing is back when Bitcoin first came out, no, not back when. After a few years after Bitcoin came out, I decided to go to Australia to work as under working holiday visa. There, I had a choice to either send my money through the bank transfers, or I can just hold it as a Bitcoin and then take it with me, and that's what I decided. So it's like a currently international remittance and stablecoin payments, even with all of these regulations, it still works really well. And that's one of the things that the blockchain solves.
Yeah, you talked about the finance side of the Web3 and blockchain. Can you tell the applications that blockchain are solving these days? Other applications like in healthcare, like in government sectors, and these things that you have seen and you have worked on.
My work mostly focuses on DeFi and finance, so I have a lot of experience there, but I don't have experience in other parts. But from there, you can also see that it's used for governance. It's basically a question of how would you split the money between certain group of people, and one of the easiest ways that blockchain solve this is by a multi-sig wallet. Multiple owners secure a single wallet, and it's in use in both in DeFi and in real world currently.
Got it. Tasuku, yeah.
There was a recent application called prediction market done using blockchain. Prediction market basically says that we bet on some kind of outcome, like who's going to be the next president, and it turns out that prediction market predicted that Trump will win very accurately compared to traditional media where they were pushing for I believe, well, at least in Japan they were pushing that Biden was going to be the winner. But prediction market, when you put money behind what you're saying, it turns out that the prediction market predicted more accurately than traditional media. So that's another application of blockchain.
Great. I think people have made a lot of money from that application. I think so.
Okay. Well, not me. I didn't. I didn't know about it till it came out.
Okay. So, Tasuku, when I think of blockchain or Web3 space in general, I see a lot of money flowing to Web3 companies. I see Web3 developers get paid huge amount of money, like millions of dollars. And I see smart contract auditors or Web3 security researcher who is in Web3 space getting bounties like hell. So my question to you is, why do these Web3 companies getting funding so much, and why do these Web3 developers getting paid so much, and why do these Web3 smart contract auditors or Web3 security researchers getting paid huge amount of bounties?
The first part, why does Web3 companies get paid so much, is maybe because just I'm not an investor, so I don't have much expertise or insight, but I guess they think it's a industry that's going to keep on growing. So that's the only reason I would know. For Web3 developers and Web3 security researchers, I think that there's a little bit of like the survivor bias, where you only see like the top people. They're saying we make a lot of money, but then I think most of us will be making like way less than that. So I think that's what you're saying. Because if you're making just like a regular amount using as a Web3 developer or as a security engineer, then you're probably not gonna be boasting about it on Twitter or somewhere.
Okay. Right. Because I see a lot of content on Twitter that I got this amount of money, I got that amount of money from developers and security research in Web3 space. That's why I'm asking this.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good motivation if that's something that interests you, or the money part, or the auditing part. If it interests you, then yeah, I think it's good to share.
Maybe I think of it like this. How should I put this? Will you tell people to come to Web3 space as a developer or as a smart contract auditor or Web3 security researcher only if you are interested in and purely passionate about? Do you tell that?
No. I would say that come to Web3 if there's even a little bit of interest, try it out. Even if you don't have an interest, if you're like a practical person and you think that Web3 can solve a problem for you, then yeah, give it a try.
Tasuku, you have been a frontline warrior for Web3 technology and Web3 space because you put out a lot of content about Web3, right? So, what it's going to be in the next 5 years? What is the economics of the blockchain or Web3 space down the line, maybe 5 years or 10 years?
Well, it's just a limited understanding from what I see. So it's just a one perspective of the whole ecosystem. What I see right now is that in DeFi, it seems like everyone's talking about Solana winning
Yes.
over Ethereum as a DeFi. So that's one thing to look out for, like which blockchain becomes more adopted.
Okay.
And from my work experience, technical side, there's I think one of the things that at least on Ethereum should solve, or maybe all blockchains, it was nice to see them solve, is that how to communicate seamlessly between blockchains, because currently the only way is sort of like L2s and bridges, and they're kind of clunky. So if there's a better way to synchronize between blockchains, I think that will be a huge win for the ecosystem.
Yeah. If that is the case, if bridges are the things that is going to be the next thing, will blockchain become a next big thing like AI in down 5 years or 10 years?
Sorry, bridges is not the next thing. Bridges are the current thing, which feels a little bit clunky. I'm saying that maybe if there's another technique or technology that can synchronize blockchains together well, then I think that would be a big win.
Okay. I have a friend who is into blockchain, and we were discussing about the bridges. Like Raju, there is a thing which has changed the communication between the blockchains. Before bridges, there was no communication between Solana and Ethereum. But after bridges, there is a communication between Ethereum and Solana. You are talking about there has to be an efficient way, right?
Yes, it's my opinion, but I think bridges are a little bit centralized at the moment, and it feels
Okay.
kind of clunky. So yeah, it'll be nice to see other mechanism to communicate between chains.
Okay.
What like the example I'm thinking about is atomic swaps. They're kind of nice, but no one really wants to use them. So
Okay.
maybe there's something to explore there.
Assume me like a layman. I don't know anything about blockchain. I have assume me like I have bare knowledge on blockchain and Web3. Now explain me what is atomic exchange.
Okay, so atomic swap is a way to exchange tokens between different chains
Okay.
without having to send messages between the blockchains. The way that bridges work is they send messages over between the chains to say who owes how many tokens, who can get how many tokens. But with atomic swap, you don't need this sending of messages. You would just
Okay.
the message the information is sort of like relayed by cryptography.
Okay.
And if you see this cryptographic hash on one chain, then you can use that hash on the other chain to
Okay.
unlock the tokens.
Okay. I'm a noob at cryptography.
Well, for atomic swaps, only thing that you need to know is a hash function, which means
Okay.
it takes in any input, it spits out a fixed length output,
Okay.
and the output is deterministic, but it's unpredictable. Given the input, you don't know what the output's gonna look like unless you actually put it in. And then that's a hash function.
So Tasaku, I'm really curious to know about your story. Initially, you are a mathematics grad, and after that, you got into computer science, and you are a PHP developer, and then you become a smart contract developer and you become a smart contract engineer, content creator. Like, I'm very curious to know about your story. Start from
Okay.
where were you born, the schooling, where you have been to college, and how did you become what you are today?
Okay, well, I grew up in, I was born in Japan, grew up in a small island called Okinawa.
Okay.
That's where the US military base is, so some people might know about it. Went to
Mhm.
an international school, and then from there, went to a university in US,
Mhm.
Temple University in Pennsylvania. And then
Okay.
I graduated with a math degree.
Oh, okay. Why did you
Uh,
move to US?
Well, I went to international school, so it was like the natural flow of
Okay.
everyone who went to the international school, most of them
Hmm.
went on to university in US.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and then took on math because it was interesting. But then after graduating, I didn't real. The only option that seemed like after I got my math was either to go for study more math, like in grad school,
Okay.
or become a math teacher, or work in an insurance company as a actuarial science
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
actuarial science degrees.
Okay.
None of them really interest me, so I just traveled around a little bit, and then
Mhm.
came back to Japan. Worked as a construction worker, and then went on to work in a mountain cabin.
Mhm.
There, I got interested in internet, so I picked up the
Mhm.
PHP book, and then
Okay.
about a year later, I became a PHP programmer.
What time it is? What year it is?
What year is this? I think it was when I was 26-ish.
Okay.
So it's 12 years ago. What is that? 12 years
12
ago
years.
would be
Maybe
2013-ish.
13ish. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and then after about a few years, I went to Australia. Uh,
Mm,
Worked there as a working holiday and as a programmer.
mm.
Couldn't get a work visa for computer as a programmer because I didn't have a computer science degree. I had a math degree.
Okay.
So I decided to leave the country, and then while traveling in Southeast Asia, I decided to try out for blockchain jobs, and that's where I first got interested in Ethereum,
Mhm.
and then got an Ethereum job in Japan,
Mhm.
and then the company went bankrupt. So I decided I'll freelance, and then that's when I decided to teach some stuff on YouTube, so that as like
Okay.
advertisement for myself.
Okay. So, Tasaku, at at the very beginning of Web3 and blockchain, there was no such kind of resources that you provide on the internet, and others also, like Ethereum uh, has something like their blogs, right? Their talks. What was back then? What are the resources that you have learned over to learn about Web3 and blockchain?
Uh, internet, internet blogs, and a lot, looking at a lot of code and Stack Overflow. I think those were the main resources.
Mhm. Yeah, got it. And after
What
that, what happened?
uh, what do you mean after that? What happened?
After it, I mean, after company went bankrupt and you started learning
Yeah,
about
right.
this. Yeah.
So I started YouTube, and then was doing freelancing, and then started and then worked in a Singapore company, and then the Singapore company also closed in like 2 years, and now
Okay.
currently I'm working for a security company called Cypher.
Mhm. Is it more about smart contract auditing and stuff, right?
It's about smart contract security, so it's about auditing and but also teaching about securities.
Oh, okay. Tasaku, if you have, imagine you have two brothers. One came to you, said, I want to become a Web3 developer. And one came to you, said, and another one came to you and said, I want to become a Web3 security researcher. What roadmaps do you give for two of them? One for Web3 developer and one for smart contract researcher or Web3 security researcher.
Learn Solidity, build something. And then for developer, keep building something, I guess. And then for security engineers, I would tell them try one of the audit contests. Yeah, I think that would be the simplest way.
Yeah. Can we break down and zoom into the parts of the roadmap? Tell me what
Sure.
was the. Yeah. I'll tell you why I'm asking this. Because people who watch me are students. I come from a Telugu state in India. That's called Andhra Pradesh. And here people don't know much about Web3 technology and blockchain stuff. So if you can deep dive, what are the concepts they have to learn? What are the checkpoints? And what are the resources that they can use to boost up their learning?
Okay. I think the base starting point will be a basic programming knowledge. Python, JavaScript is nice. You can start with Solidity first, but I think it makes sense to start with other programming languages first, and then move on to Solidity. Go over like the general topics like variables, functions, and then how to do payments, how to call the contracts.
Okay.
Deploy some contracts. Build some simple contracts like a counter contract. Even that will be helpful. And maybe build a multi-sig wallet. I think that covers most of the basics of Solidity or smart contracts. And then from there, developer, you would try to build some, maybe build like, if you can build like a AMM for
What is AMM?
automated market maker. So it's a decentralized exchange contract. If
Okay.
you can build that, then you're pretty much competent as a blockchain developer, currently as a blockchain developer. And for security engineer, once you build some contracts, deploy some contracts, just go for audit contests. And you're probably not gonna get much. You're probably not gonna see much success, but by looking at after the contest is over, by looking at what you missed, you'll learn a lot. And for resources to learn, you should ask the AI. I think currently that is the best resource that there is, and AI does still give a lot of misinformation confidently. So it will say that this is the correct answer, even though you know that it's not. But overall, it does give a correct answer. So AI, and if something feels off about the AI's answer, you can also double check by like Googling your question too.
I think we should put some limelight on Solidity by example, Viper by example, and your YouTube channel also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. That's okay. That's okay though.
Yeah.
It's just Google, and if my contents are good enough, it will show up on Google, I guess.
Yeah. I think this is the common answer that I hear from people I do podcasts from. Because when I ask people, tell me the resource that they about their domain, they tell me Google is the best one and AI is the best one. Yeah, people are just lazy to type out in Google.
Yeah, well, but that's okay. It's probably one of the most efficient ways to find answers.
Yeah. I think what I feel is there are two types of developer, right? Like one is who builds on top of blockchain, and one is core developer, like who creates a blockchain. If someone, I put out a tweet on X, so we are doing a podcast with Tasuku Nakamura. What questions do you want to ask him? And people ask you, how could someone become a core blockchain developer?
Well, I have no experience, so I can't tell you much. But I guess learn the language that's being used for the core protocol. Uh, for Ethereum, there's the Geth, so maybe Go, and then there's also the Ref, so maybe Rust. Uh, yeah, but I'm not really sure though, because I guess you also need to learn about like Git and collaboration because you're gonna be submitting your work to the core protocols,
Okay.
or and then maybe also learn about the consensus protocols.
Tasaka, do you believe in the quote that you are the average of 4 people that you surround with?
In a way, yes. To some extent, yes.
Yeah. What I've seen is these days, people are not interacting with people that they are surrounded with, and they started interacting with their mobile phones, social media platforms, YouTube, and everything. I believe that the quote would be changed, that you are the average of 4 people that you follow on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, or whatever the social media are. Like, what kind of content that you consume? Because I've seen you on YouTube, and what I'm very, very curious to know, what content do you watch on these social media platforms?
On YouTube, I watch the blockchain stuff from like the popular ones to like the technical ones.
Can you name out them?
Let me see. Well, I need to open my YouTube first.
Okay.
YouTube. Trying to think of a really good one. For blockchains.
Patrick Colson?
Yeah, he's pretty good at teaching. But there's some other channels that are like less technical. I'm trying to see
Okay.
what that is. I don't have it with me, so maybe I'll message you on
Yeah.
X.
Got it.
And then besides blockchain, some like business channel to just get some business basics.
Okay.
And then on Twitter, mostly technical stuff.
Yeah, got it. I'll put out the resources.
Okay.
Yeah. Tasuku, I personally believe that if a man is doing good in life, he might follow the same boring routine every single day. Is that correct?
He might. Yeah, he might.
He
Yeah,
might,
if you're
right?
comfortable, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I personally feel that it will feel like play to him, but it will look like boring to others. Am I correct?
Can you say the second part again?
Yeah. It will feel like play to him, the person who is doing that, and it will feel like boring to others.
Maybe. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. What is your boring routine then?
My routine.
Yeah.
It's usually wake up and then I will code on my website for maybe 1 or 2 hours. So currently I'm learning about Rust and then publishing videos on Rust. So this is usually the time that I'm learning new concepts about Rust. And then afterwards I go to I do some of my cipher work till like till maybe 2 or 3 p.m. And then from there I have family stuff to do, and then at nighttime I'll maybe have 1 or 2 hours to look into other code as well. So that's my current routine, and currently I'm just looking at some protocols that interest me at nighttime.
What are the protocols that you are interested in right now?
I'm looking at Panoptics, their
Okay.
options protocol that run on top of Uniswap V3. It seems really interesting because there's no real options protocol on DeFi yet.
Okay. I don't know much about them, but people might feel if they are interested. Tasuku, do you believe that putting out content have asynchronous value over time? Like you have put a lot of content on YouTube, right? Tell me what opportunities that he gave, and will you suggest people to put out content on social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, and everything?
Yeah, it's not for everyone, but if you enjoy sharing what you learn, and if you have if you can find the time to do it, then yes, I highly encourage you to do it. Um, it seems like it will help you secure. It will help you get jobs quicker because people already seen your work, so you can sort of skip through the whole interview process, and they would maybe say, "Hey, we want to work with you." So over the long time, people can see the work that you've done and immediately trust in your skills and work. So that's one benefit of sharing your work on internet.
Yeah. Can you tell some of the opportunities that you got from your content?
Uh, People on Discords and Telegram wanting me to like audit contracts or build contracts or hire me for full-time jobs.
Okay. And if you do that, you no longer need to apply for too many job roles on LinkedIn, and right?
Well, I still do. Like, if there's a job that interests me, I still want to apply for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Tasaku, in every podcast, I ask people about the books they have read, and they feel these are the books that they are the best. And I ask about what books do you suggest people or give to people? If you can tell the books that change your life or change your perspective, and the books that you will give to others or your relatives or someone you
Books.
like.
I don't read much books.
Okay.
Most of the content that I consume comes from YouTube
Mhm.
or the internet. So I haven't read a book in a while. Currently reading a math book.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good book.
Okay. Got
But
it.
it's not meant for everyone. It's a book for how to do financial engineering. So
Okay. Tasaku, I have this one friend who is into blockchain. Uh, for about 6 months, he is into cryptography, and now he's bombarding me that if you want to be in blockchain and Web3 space, please learn cryptography and mathematics, and it will give you a lot of opportunities. Do you agree on this?
uh, maybe you don't have to learn. You don't have to know cryptography to get a job in the blockchain space.
Hmm.
But knowing it probably does help. But you shouldn't be spending all of your time uh, and then not practicing your coding skills either.
Yeah, he's a nerd, and right now he's working on the, what is this called? Zero knowledge proofs.
Yeah, okay, yeah, then that makes sense. I think there's very few people that know zero knowledge and have the skills to implement them. So yeah, good on him.
Yeah. Someone should concentrate on Rust security or Solana security? What are your thoughts on that?
I tried Solana contracts, but it seemed kind of a little bit more difficult to use than Solidity and Foundry.
Hmm.
So there might be an opportunity in that because there might be less competition. So I'm not sure. So yeah.
Tasuku, I see every single day a lot of blockchains coming up. Before it was Bitcoin, like a finance thing. Like after that, Ethereum came and changed everything. And after that, Solana came because Ethereum has very less transactional rates. And after Solana, right now we have Fuel. Like for every 1 or 2 years, a game-changing blockchain is entering. I mean, how should I put this question? How should I put this? What should students, like my viewers are core students. Fundamentally, the thing is very basic, right? Blockchain. Should they fear about the blockchain that they should learn, or should they stick to fundamentals?
Learn the fundamentals. It doesn't take too much long time to learn the fundamentals, and then from there, maybe do like a job research on which jobs they're opening for, and then also what interests you. If it's Ethereum, that's great. If it's Solana, it's also great. I think both are interesting protocols to explore.
Hmm. Any before that, where do you live, Tasaku, right now?
I'm currently in Japan.
How life in Japan would look like? Because I've seen in movies, it looked like sci-fi, and it looked like fiction. Like all the dreamy things happens in Japan.
How about you describe what your life in India is like, and maybe I can like bring out the
Okay.
contrast better.
Okay. In India, I see different cultures. Like in every state, there will be different culture. Like places are very good. If you go in the north of India, there are Himalayas and everything. If you come down to India, you can see the beaches and everything. It's a beautiful country with beauty, with the nature. And there are technology hubs like Bangalore, where it feels like San Francisco to me, like level 2 of San Francisco. I think that's it.
Japan has a lot of beautiful nature and a lot of good food, and most of the cost of living is pretty cheap. Rent is cheap. House
Okay.
is relatively cheap for a developed country. It might be a little bit boring or a little bit uncomfortable for foreigners because it's very homogeneous about a lot of Japanese people. So if you're the foreigner, you kind of stick out.
Okay.
People are polite, both in good and a bad way. They're polite in a good way, but they're also polite in a bad way because if you're doing something wrong, they will never tell you. They're just gonna be polite to you.
Okay.
Uh, what else is there?
What about the technology advancements? Like
Yes, okay.
when I, yeah, go on.
Technology. I think Japan's been stuck in technology since the 90. I would say maybe 2000s. It's sort of been stuck there.
Okay.
So like, if you came to Japan in the 1990s, you would have thought Japan was the future. But you come now and you feel like Japan's lagging behind in technology, and you can see this in like government. When you need to go do some government paperwork or interact with a bank, they're really you can tell that it's the technology is lagging behind.
What do you think of India?
Never been there. I think it's an interesting country because for historical reasons. Yeah.
Do you have any plans to come and visit India?
Currently, no. Maybe one day it'll be interesting, and maybe not by myself. I'm too scared to go by myself.
No, you have a friend over in India.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll super happy to host you if you come to India.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Uh, any advice to people who wants to become a Web3 developer or Web3 security engineer?
Maybe not. Maybe not like say that I want to become a Web3 security engineer or a Web3 developer.
Okay.
Maybe just first try it out and see if you like it. If you keep on liking it, keep on continuing. And at some point, if you want to become like a Web2 developer, that's also fine. So yeah, just keep on doing what interests you,
Hmm.
and hopefully it's also a skill that you can get a well-paying job as well.
Hmm. Do you think Web3 space will pay quite a good amount of money?
Depends. If you work in if you work in a Web3 company, probably in like Japan or Asian countries, they won't pay you that amazing. But if you work in like Europe or US, for a
Hmm.
company in US or Europe, then they'll pay you well.
Hmm. Okay. I think that's it, Tasako. It's
Yeah,
been interesting talking to you. I'm super glad that you came to uh, a very small creator podcast.
that's okay.
Yeah,
I hope it becomes it grows bigger.
yeah. Thank you, Tasako. I'm very, very grateful to host you.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you have anything to tell people other than that?
No, I think I told everything I need to.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Tasako. Thank you for your time. I think I I'll host you some other day after some time. I'll come up with some technical questions next time.
Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.
If you find this valuable, share this to a friend who is also a nerd.